everyone. It's Friday. We made it through another week. This is Dick, WB2JPQ, along with Jeff, KE0GKS, and Vicky, KE8VKY. We'll be doing the Saturday edition, Saturday. That has to do with our question. Our morning edition, our Friday edition of the Morning Brew. We will be doing a second cup today after the morning brew like we usually do on Friday. So come join us. Have a little bit of fun with us. And tell us what's on your mind. It's a chance for you to ask us a good question and talk to us rather than answering our questions. Our question this morning is going back down memory lane. I like to do that every once in a while. We talked about the school lunches. I had a lot of comments on that. A lot of people texted and wrote in and said, hey, I really like that. So we're going to go down memory lane again this morning. Clark, Wayne, Mark, Zachary, Joe, Greg, VA3 GLJ, we got two Gregs in there, Ray, Bill, Chuck, another Bill too, VA3 YBS, and K4EGQ. We had two Bills, and the other KB3 EYR. Dan in Sterling Heights, Charles in Syracuse, David, Harlan in Jacksonville, Florida. Let's take some mobiles. Some mobile check-ins this morning. You want to get in here and get up first on the list. Once again, this is Dick. 15 degrees south of Buffalo this morning. I guess it's going to be cold and snowy all over the country over the weekend. Mobile stations only. Good morning.
Kilo Zulu 4, Juliet, November. That is Kilo Zulu 4, Juliet, November, mobile.
November 4, Delta Echo Sierra. November 4, Delta Echo Sierra.
Whiskey 5, Whiskey Lima Hotel. Whiskey 5, Whiskey Lima Hotel.
Kilo Foxtrot 6, Hotel Delta Juliet. Kilo Foxtrot 6, Hotel Delta Juliet, mobile.
W9QJQ, W9QJQ, well, in and out.
VK4, Bravo, Yankee, Fox. Victor Kilo 4, Bravo, Yankee, Fox.
Baby up.
Sierra Tango Juliet, Whiskey 8 Sierra Tango Juliet, mobile.
KB5NJU mobile. Kilo Bravo 5, November Juliet uniform.
That's a good place to stop. The very last station was KD5NJU or something like that. The very last station that called in. Again, please.
KB5NJU, Kilo Bravo 5, November Juliet uniform, mobile.
We got you, Elmer. KB5, what a difference one little letter makes. Allen Park, Michigan. Good morning. Good morning to Steve in Rochester Hills. Bob over in Australia. VK4BYF. W9QJQ. Couldn't stick with us this morning. He's mobile, gonna hop in and out. You have a nice day. Brent, Pensacola, Florida's here. Lee, W5WLH. Mark, Boca Raton, and 4DES. Lost my place here. Scroll up. And Anders, he's at 4JN. He's going to start us out here this morning. And once again, our question, back to memory lane. When you were a kid, what was your favorite Saturday morning cartoon? Good morning.
Good morning, Dick, and everyone else. Thank you for running the net this morning. I am so happy it's Friday. Being from Sweden, we didn't have a whole lot of choices. You could watch Disney cartoons, or they had one channel that had Transformers, and that was my preference. So for me, it would be Transformers. Hope everyone has a great day, and I'll send it back to you, Dick. This is Kilo Zulu 4 Juliet, November.
Cartoons were at a minimum in Sweden. Thank you, sir. Mark, Boca Raton, and 4DES. Good morning.
Good morning. Happy Friday. Beautiful day down here. After looking at the weather, doesn't look like the rest of the country is going to share what we have down here in South Florida. But anyway, that said, I think for my favorite Saturday morning cartoon, we down Westerly Wabbit, Bugs Bunny, and all of his friends like Daffy Duck. With that, back to net control. November 4, Delta Echo Sierra 73. Have a great day.
Poor Vicky's got to log all these this morning. Lee, good morning. W5WLH. What was your favorite Saturday morning cartoon?
Good morning, Dick and Vicky. 60 degrees here in Austin this morning and drippy. It's pretty wet. Favorite cartoon was Speed Racer. I lived for Speed Racer. Whiskey 5 WLH, back to net control.
Speed Racer it is. Good morning, Brent, Pensacola, Florida.
Well, good morning, Dick, Jeff, and Vicky, and it's nice 52 degrees here in Pensacola, and glad to be on the morning edition of the Friday Brew. Hi. Favorite cartoon on Saturday morning would I guess would have to be Scooby-Doo. Back to net control. KF6 HDJ. Everybody have a great day.
Scooby-Doo is. Bob, VK4BYF.
It's good morning, good evening to the Morning Brew crew and everybody out there. Yeah, we had a program called Looney Tunes, which is pretty good. Daffy Duck, Porky Pig, Road Runner, and numerous others. So Looney Tunes, just sit down and watch that all the morning. Anyway, back to the Brew crew, VK4BYF. Everybody have a great day.
Bob, let's go to Steve in Rochester Hills, Michigan. Good morning, Steve.
Hey, good morning, Vicky. Good morning, everybody here on the Morning Brew. For on Saturday morning was Elton and the Chipmunks. Put me down for that one. Hopefully, everybody has a good, safe weekend ahead. Stay warm out there. This is WJ.
Steve, could you repeat your answer a couple of times? You're kind of noisy. We missed it.
Apologize for that, Dick. I'm going underneath you. He is Calvin and the Chipmunks.
Yo, Vicky did get it. I should have known. Our last mobile. Good morning again to Elmer, WB5NJU. Alan Park, Michigan.
This is KB5NJU. Good morning and happy Friday, everybody. Put me down for Warner Brothers. I'm especially a big fan of Mel Blanc, the person who did darn near all the voices. That was a huge talent. Have a great weekend, everybody. For those of you up north like I am, stay warm. This is KB5NJU Mobile.
We were just talking about Mel Blanc in the Zoom room before the net started. Yes, some 99 voices, or he did voices for, gosh, just about everybody. Let's go up and work some of these text check-ins that texted in so really early this morning. Larry from Arizona, KM7CGI. Good morning, Larry. Once again, our question is, when you were a kid, what was your favorite Saturday morning cartoon?
Good morning, Dick and Vicky. This was a little bit of a tough one. I'm going to go with that silly Wabbit, Bugs Bunny. Everybody have a great day. KM7CGI.
And I think your wife was involved in this one this morning. I think I heard her in the background, Larry.
Trying a different radio. Is it working?
Fine, you got great audio. Sound great. First thing I thought of when you keyed up this morning, what nice audio. Roy and Blaisdell, morning, KA8BYU.
Vicky and everybody on the Brew, KA8BYU. I'm going to have to go with Johnny Quest. That was always a good Saturday morning cartoon. I could go back further, but that was my favorite. Back to you.
Hang on half a second, Roy. Okay. My spread didn't catch up. So, Township, Michigan, good morning. And Arcade UFM.
Good morning, Dick. Good morning, Vicky. Good morning, Jeff. And all on frequency, that would be the Jetsons. The Jetsons. With that said, this is KUFM. Everyone have an outstanding Friday.
Jetsons it is. No Peep Peep Roadrunner yet. I'm surprised. That was my favorite. Good morning, Jay, in Orlando. K1MCO. Man, I heard you on an hour ago. Good morning.
Good morning, Dick, Vicky, and everybody on the morning, bro. This is K1MCO. Yeah, good morning to you, Dick. Nice to hear you. My favorite cartoon, it was back in the day, or still is actually, is the Coyote and the Roadrunner. And those make me laugh a lot. I was young. Take care, Dick. Thank you for running the net. K1MCO.
There you go. Good morning, Glenn. N3LLY.
Good morning, Dick, Vicky, and the rest of the crew. I would definitely have to say Bugs Bunny and the Roadrunner show. And then 2 more hours of the rest of the Looney Tunes on Saturday mornings. Anyway, everybody, have a great day and a great weekend. N3LLY, back to you, Dick.
Oh, you spent the morning, Glenn. Good for you. Good morning to Clark, KK7DY. I think I heard you on doing a radio check much earlier this morning.
Good morning, Dick, Vicky, crew. I liked Huckleberry Hound. Back to net control, KK7GY.
Huckleberry Hound. That's one from the past. Thank you, Clark. Wayne, Belmore, New York, KC2NJV. Good morning.
Good morning, Dick and the rest of the crew, KC2NJV. I basically watched everything but the Transformers that's listed already, but I am a big Bugs Bunny fan. He was cool, he was mean, he was funny, he was not politically correct, but politically correct for the time. You can't beat Bugs Bunny. Have a great day.
Thank you, Wayne. Same to you. Mark and Elma, KE2EDS.
Well, good morning, Dick. Jeff, and everybody else on the crew. I'll go with Bugs Bunny with the Elmer Fudd, Bugs Bunny. Have a great day, KE2EDS.
Bugs Bunny it is. Let's go down to Florida, Kissimmee to be exact. Good morning to Zachary, KI6KQO.
Good morning, Dick, Vicky, and the Brew crew. Man, this was a tough question, but in the Looney Tunes 2 hours, you got to put me down for Yosemite Sam. So everyone have a safe and warm weekend. I'll send it back to you, Dick, KI6KQO.
Well, you had to think on that one. That's good. That's what we want everybody to do. Back to their childhood and have to think. What about you, Joe? KM4WZD, good morning.
Hey, good morning, Dick. Good morning, Vicky. Good morning to the crew. Dick, you and I are on the same page on this one. Roadrunner all the way. We used to have the Bugs Bunny Roadrunner show, like so many other folks experienced. I always kind of thought, it'd be a whole lot better if it was just the Roadrunner show. Everybody take care. Have a fantastic weekend. KM4WZD. Back to net.
Runner it is. You get those, ever get the songs and that, you can't get rid of them, but that beep beep, after you watch it, you spend a half a day going beep beep to yourself. Didn't take much to amuse me back in the day. Good morning, VA3GLJ. Good, it's going to be for you.
Well, good morning, Dick, and good morning to the Brew crew. Currently 59 degrees Fahrenheit down here in Saunderson, south of Florida, minus 11 back home in Cartier. Answer to your question, big fan of Foghorn Leghorn from the Bugs Bunny show. Everybody have a great Friday and a great weekend. 73 VA3GLJ.
Still in Florida, well, enjoy your vacation. Enjoy your time in the sunshine, even though it's a little cool. It's still much better than what I have, 15 here this morning. Ray in Beaver, Pennsylvania. Well, we'll have to see how you and Anna voted this morning. Good morning, Ray.
And that this morning, this is N3DQD. Well, I'm going to break from the cartoons a little bit because I didn't really watch cartoons, but when I did get up very early in the morning on Saturday mornings and watch were the safari shows. I love the idea of flying in and out of the jungle on the small planes and, that kind of program. Back to you. This is N3DQD.
Thank you, Ray. Bill in Woodstock, Georgia, KI4EGQ. Good morning, Bill.
Well, good morning, everybody on the Brew crew. KI4EGQ is 45 degrees in Atlanta, waiting for the ice storm tomorrow. Boy, you just said that about the safari shows. I remember it was Johnny Weissmuller's Jungle Jim and black and white still. Boy, that brings back memories. Anyway, the cartoons were, I suppose the favorite was, the Bugs Bunny Roadrunner Hour. I still pull up Yosemite Sam clips from somewhere back there. You can find something, when he says, when I say whoa, I mean whoa. Yeah, and then Foghorn Leghorn and Bugs Bunny, Roadrunner, and all that gang. But a close seconds got to be the Rocky and Bullwinkle Hour. There's a lot of good satire and humor on Rocky and Bullwinkle still. Got to go back and look at that. Remember My Boy Sherman. Anyway, hope everybody has a great weekend. KI4EGQ.
Good memories at 20 past the hour. This is Dick, WB2JPQ. Good morning, Chuck in Newcastle.
Good morning, Dick, Vicky, and everybody on the Brew there. I have to go with the Roadrunner. I really like that cartoon there. And with that, Dick, have a great day. There'll be a 3 CVE.
As well, Chuck. Have a nice weekend. VA3YBS. Good morning, Bill.
Good morning, Dick and Vicky and everybody on the net this morning. It's 61 degrees down here in Cape Canaveral, Florida, and I understand it's pretty cold at home. Anyway, favorite cartoon character. He was not your average bear, Yogi the Bear, and his sidekick, Boo Boo. Surprised they haven't come up yet this morning. Anyway, I hope everybody has a great day. This is VA3YBS. Back to you.
You're right. Yogi has not come up. Well, thanks for adding him to our spreadsheet here this morning. KB3EYR. What's your vote?
Good morning, Dick. Good morning, Vicky, and everyone on the Brew Crew this morning. This is KB3EYR, and Bugs Bunny was usually what we had on the TV for Saturday morning cartoons when I was growing up. Hope everybody has a great day and a great weekend. Back to Net Control.
And Bugs Bunny it is. Good morning to Dan in Sterling Heights, WA8PGV.
Morning, Dick, and everybody on the Brew. I'm with Bill and George. Rocky and Bullwinkle show, especially the segments, the time travel set with Mr. Peabody in a Wayback Machine. That was great. Back to you, Whiskey Alpha 8, Papa Golf Victor.
Thank you, Dan. Sounds like you put a little thought into that as well. Charles in Syracuse.
Good morning, Vic. Good morning, Vicky, and everybody else listening into the Brew. I put a lot of thought into. I tried to think of some of the obscure ones because you're nailing all the regulars. But another one I used to sit in front of the TV and watch, Super Friends, which probably led to my later obsession with comic books. But Super Friends. 73 all back to Net Control KD2YU.
Well, that's a different category. Yeah, well, we figured, the top 7 or 8 would get hit many times. Good morning to David, N6QDY.
Hey, good morning, Dick, Vicky, the Brew Crew, and everybody in the Zoom control room, N6QDY, 43 degrees here in El Dorado Hills. Put me down for Tom and Jerry. Tom and Jerry. I enjoyed those guys. Anyways, have a great weekend, everybody. Maybe hear folks on the Usenet. Back to Net Control, N6QDY.
Thanks for reminding me. Usenet tonight at 8 o'clock. Please come join us, and we will be doing a second cup after Jeff's hour here on the Morning Brew. Got one more text check-in, Harlan in Jacksonville, Florida, and then I'm going to go to radio check-ins. Good morning, Harlan, K1JAX.
Good morning, everybody on the Brew Crew, K1JAX in Jacksonville. Florida. Put me down for Speedy Gonzalez. K1JAX, back to the net.
There you go. Thanks, Harlan. Thanks, everybody, for paying attention this morning, and be there when we call on you. Let's take some radio check-ins, Vicki. Let's see who we have out there this morning. Anybody, anywhere, driving around? I have a list of, let me read these here just so you don't think you got in. We got Rudy, we got Charlie, N2WXD, Craig, Bob in Ecorse, Michigan. We got Al in Brighton. We got Dan in Milan. Frankie, looks like you're new to the system, KF8EVB. We will be with you in a minute. And we got Bill in North Fort Myers, Florida. Those were our latest text check-ins. Anybody on the radio this morning? Call signs twice, please.
Yeah, net control. This is Kilo Echo 4, Zulu
Uniform,
Quebec,
X-ray, Juliet.
Township, Michigan, Kilo Echo
Quebec
4, Zulu
Uniform,
Quebec.
X-ray, Juliet.
Kilo Juliet 5.
Kilo Charlie 5 Charlie
Juliet
Zulu X-ray.
Golf Uniform Yankee. Guy in for me.
Bravo 4 Romeo Oscar November. Whiskey Bravo 4 Romeo Oscar November. Will be in and out mobile. Magilla Gorilla.
Kilo Delta 3 Alpha Juliet November. Short time.
N2BH. N2BH.
W2PMS. W2PMS.
NY1US. NY1US.
KR4GZV. KR4GZV.
Victor Alpha 3 Kilo Tango Juliet. Victor Alpha 3 Kilo Tango Juliet.
Kilo Charlie 3 Uniform Kilo.
KJ5 WGR Houston.
Kilo Charlie 3 Uniform Kilo.
Lima Kilo N2VLK.
KE9EFX Kilo Echo 9 Echo Foxtrot X-ray.
Well, that's a good list to get started with. Wow. Listen up here. We'll read the names. It'll be much quicker. Good morning to Jacob. We have Jeff in Lancaster. Walter, Houston, Texas. Herbert. Jenzik, good morning to you. Victor, we got Norm in South Wales. Peter in Cortland. Bill in Palmyra. Anna, we got you a short time. I'll get to you in just a minute, honey. We got Ron in Niagara Falls. Ron, I haven't heard you for a long time. I was thinking about you the other day. Hope all is well. Ron was in and out this morning. Darrow in Lubbock, Texas. Guy in Harvey. Joe in Clinton. KJ's with us from North Carolina. We got another Bill. I guess I had already said that, W8WHK. Let me go right to Anna. She's short time here this morning. Anna, good morning. I know you're dying to tell us what your favorite cartoon character was. Good morning to you.
Good morning, Dick, and everyone else on the crew this morning. Well, I didn't have a favorite cartoon when I was young. I liked them all, and I didn't really watch them a whole lot, but I did some. My grandson's sitting here with me now, and he said his favorite is Bugs Bunny. 83 AJN.
All right, thank you. And this is Vicky, K-A-V-K-Y. And moving on to W8WHK. When you were a kid, what was your favorite Saturday morning cartoon?
Well, good morning, Vicky. W8WHK in Southwest Florida. 61 degrees, but it's foggy. Gonna have a change in the weather, I think. Well, my favorite, the wife and I, we like Tom and Jerry. And, but now, these days, well, we're going to go with Tom and Jerry, but close second is SpongeBob, but that's more contemporary now. Okay. And then we got our coffee and donuts, so we got to get ready to go over there. Get over to the rec center. Talk to a bunch of folks. Okay. As I said, W8WHK 73. I'm back to net control.
All right. Thank you, Bill, and have a good day. KJ, KQ4, UXJ. KQ4, UXJ, you still there? All right, we'll move on to Joe, KE4ZYQ.
KE4ZYQ. First of all, Vicky, good morning to you and Dick and the Morning Brew. And I'm privileged to have you call on me. It's only one time I think I've had that. And one cartoon that affected me as an adult, to be serious, it was a good one. Felix the Cat. Nobody's mentioned that yet. Felix the Cat with his bag of tricks. And that got me prepared as a ham radio operator to have things ready and prepared if you're traveling or otherwise or home, to have things to pull out of your bag of tricks of emergency management, flashlights, battery backups, whatever. So it actually helped me as a kid, the adult, later on. And thanks again, Vicky and Dick and the crew from the Morning Brew from KE4ZYQ.
Thank you, Joe, and have a good weekend. Guy, KJ5GUY.
Good morning, everyone in the Brew Crew. This is KJ5 Golf Uniform Yankee. Today's question, I think my favorite cartoon is probably Looney Tunes, the Bugs Bunny Roadrunner show. And the favorite character, I guess, would probably be Marvin the Martian. Love that character. It was awesome. There was supposed to be an earth-shattering kaboom. Back to you, net control, KJ5 Golf Uniform Yankee.
Yeah, he definitely had some perseverance. Daryl, KC5CZX.
Well, good morning, Vicky and the rest of the crew. I gotta go with Scrooge McDuck from DuckTales. So back to that KC5CZX.
And the first one, Bill at 2BH.
Good morning, Vicky, Dick, everybody. I'd probably go with Roadrunner and 2BH.
And we got another one for Roadrunner. Have a good weekend. W2PMS, Peter.
Good morning, Vicky, and everybody on the Morning Brew. Yeah, put me down for the Roadrunner as well. That was probably my favorite one. Everybody have a good day. W2PMS. Back to net.
Have a good weekend. Norm, NY1US.
Hey, morning, Vicky and Dick and everybody on the Brew Crew today. I think my favorite was Boris Badenoff from the Rocky and Bullwinkle show. So Very good. Take care, everybody. Have a good day and a good weekend. And Y1 US next in it.
Thank you, Norm. Have a good weekend. Victor, care for GCV.
Good morning, everybody. Down for Angry Beavers. Probably kidding myself there, but that's it for me. Hope everybody has a great Friday. KR4GZV.
Thanks, and you as well. VA3, KTJ. Chensuik, VA3, KTJ, you still there?
Good morning, Vicky, and everyone on the net. This is VA3 KTJ. My favorite cartoon was Tom and Jerry. 7312. Have a nice weekend, everyone. Back to net control. This is VA3 KTJ.
Thank you, Jen. So I think I might have pulled you from in and out land, but thanks for coming back in. Herbert, KC3 UK. What was your favorite cartoon as a kid?
Good morning, Vicky, and everybody on the net. Here's one for you. My favorite was Mighty Mouse. Mighty Mouse. Nobody's named that one yet. Weather here is 23 degrees and getting ready for the storm. KC3, UUK, 73s, everybody. Stay safe, stay warm. Have a good one. I'm clear.
Thank you, Herbert. Let's move on to Walter in Houston, Texas. Good morning, KJ5WGR.
Good morning, everyone. KJ5WGR in Houston. I'd say I tuned in to Bugs Bunny on Saturday morning the most. So put me down for that, please. Have a good day, everyone. Back to net control.
One for Bugs Bunny. Good morning to Jeff in Lancaster, New York, and to VLK.
And Vicky and everybody else, got yourself dug out yet, Dick? To answer the question, I got to go with my old buddy Yosemite Sam. And on the side there, Dick, that 146.835, I can't get it to open. With that, I'll turn it back to you. 7-3 and 2 VLK.
Maybe I can fix that in a second here. Thanks, Jeff, for telling me. We might have had a momentary outage up there on the mountain, and I wasn't aware of that. I get alarms, but it's acting funny sometimes. I'll reset it from here when Jeff takes over at the top of the hour. Thanks for letting me know. Jacob, KE9EFX. Once again, let me repeat the question this morning. We're going back to our memory lane, as I called it. When you were a kid, what was your favorite Saturday morning cartoon?
KE9EFX here, Southwest Indiana. Good morning, Brew crew. Currently 19 degrees here in Southwest Indiana. I would have to say, for my favorite cartoon, I was a 90s baby, so I'm going to add another point for SpongeBob. Back to you, Net Control. KE9EFX.
Let me go back up the list here. I'm sorry to keep these text check-ins waiting, but we needed to get some radio check-ins in the log here this morning. Going to go up to Rudy Smithfield, North Carolina. KN4RW. Again, my apologies for making you guys wait.
Yeah, good morning, Net Control. No worries, no worries. I enjoy listening to the net every morning. So, the answer to the question, let me ID KN4W. The answer to the question is Bugs Bunny and Looney Tunes. So, that's that Net Control. Y'all doing an excellent job. 73 KN4W.
Whoever that was trying to get in from K4FXC there in North Carolina, you were all noise. You could just stand by. We'll take more check-ins in just a minute. Go ahead, Vicky. Sorry to interrupt you.
No, it's all good. Charlie, NA2B, what's your favorite cartoon as a kid?
Oh, good morning, Vicky, Dick, and everybody on the net. Birdie 9 Tampa Bay, 61 this morning. Actually going to hit the 80s. I guess we're going to miss all that nasty weather headed up the East Coast. Response to the question, you know, I watched a lot of them, but my favorite was always Huckleberry Hound. I always liked the series where he was El Kabong and he had his little sidekick, Baba Louie. And a funny note beside that, I used to nickname one of my dogs Baba Louie. All right, NA2B, back to that. Thanks.
80s. Our wind chill is literally closer to -80 than to 80. But it's all good. Craig, N2WXD.
N2WXD. Good morning, Vicky and Dick, and all on the crew. My favorite was Johnny Quest. N2WXD, back to that.
Thank you, Craig. This is Vicky, K8. And up next, Bob, KQ8U.
Morning, Vicky and Dick and everybody else on that. I got to say the Thunderbirds, the Interrescue Rescue Team. Anybody remembers, my favorite was Thunderbird too. Everybody have a good day. KQ8U, back to that.
Thank you very much. And next up, another net controller for the Brew. K8BC. BAC, sorry.
Hey, good morning, Vicky, Dick, everybody in the Brew crew. I haven't heard this yet, kind of funny, but by the time I was pretty much aware of what was going on, Scooby-Doo was just making its appearance. And for some reason, as much as I love Bugs Bunny and all the other ones, Scooby-Doo always had it for me, so that's going to be my answer. Everybody have a great day. Back to you, Vicky, KBAC.
Yeah, somehow a talking dog was a little more real. Dan, W2PUT.
Hey, good morning, Vicky. Well, I'm going to say my favorite, it's tough to pick because there wasn't too many I didn't like, but I'm going to go with the Pink Panther. Haven't heard anybody say that one yet. Back to you, W2PUT.
Nope, you are the first one for that one. Thanks for stopping by. Have a good day. KF8EBV, Frankie.
Hey, Vicki, it's actually Michael in Farmington Hills, Michigan. But I'm here in Michigan, just a little north of you in Farmington Hills, and the thermometer this morning says 2 degrees, and the schools were closed because when it's wind chills below -20, they close the schools. No one could get waiting down by the bus at -20. But my favorite character and favorite show was George Jetson of the Jetsons. Back to net control, KF8 EBV.
Just to double check, you say you go by Michael?
50 or 60 times. I don't know why my call didn't come up, but you've got the correct call sign. I'm looking at the log. It's Michael in Farmington Hills, Michigan. Back to you.
Okay, just so you know, QRZ pulls that back to somebody else. On to KQ4 EFY. Tim, what is your favorite cartoon as a kid?
Thank you, Vicki. This is KQ4 EFY and Tim in Columbia, South Carolina. And I would have to say Mighty Mouse. It was funny back then. My brothers and I would get in a debate if Mighty Mouse got in a fight with Superman, who would win? And we all Superman because he was a real person and Mighty Mouse was a cartoon. So I would say Mighty Mouse. Back to net control.
All right, we got you for Mighty Mouse. And just real quick, Michael, when you texted, I think you had a little typo on there. We did get it straightened out. All right, next up, 82 UDB, Michael.
Well, good morning, Vicki and the Brew crew. Good to hear you out there, Vicki. And again, thanks for what you do and everybody else out there. And hello to everybody else in the Zoom room as well. It's a nice 61 degrees down here in Florida. Going to get up in the 80s. So everybody up north in the cold, wishing you all well. Be safe, drive safe. My cartoon back in the day was Hong Kong Phooey. And then the next one would have been Tom and Jerry. Thanks for doing the net. We'll talk to you later. I'm getting ready to go on my cruise. KB2 UDB 73.
Thank you, Mike, and have a good time. Ron, KE2 ARC.
Good morning, Vicki, and everybody else on the net. Yeah, put me down for the old Roadrunner. He was always a good one. Everybody have a safe weekend with all the storm. KE2 ARC, back to net.
Thank you, and have a good day. Randy, W2 RBC.
Good morning, Vicki, Dick, and everyone on the Morning Brew. I was never really a fan of the Saturday morning cartoons. If I had to pick one, it would be Rocky and Bullwinkle. Hope everyone has a great weekend. Back to net control. 73 to all. W2 RBC.
Thank you, Randy. And on the text line, we got another good handful of people. We got WB3 ILA N4 RSM, N0 CKV WP4VW, K8 SMN KJ5 LJJ, K4 QMM KC2 JZE, KG8 QP WD8 KOB, and N5TI. We'll start at the top. Stephen, WB3 ILA, what is your favorite cartoon?
Vicki and everybody else out there, I got one that's not on the list yet, and that's Courageous Cat. I used to like Courageous Cat. But anyway, everybody have a good weekend. I'm going to wait for the snow like everybody else in the Northeast here. So, 7 to 3 to everybody. WB3 ILA, back to the net.
Thank you, Stephen. Have a good weekend. Richard, and
good morning to everyone on the Brew crew. I watched Looney Tunes pretty much whenever it came on. I like Foghorn Leghorn the best.
another one for Foghorn Leghorn. Let's see, we got Mark, N0 CKV.
Good morning, Vicki, Dick, rest of the Brew crew, everybody else on the net. 21 below zero in Plymouth, Minnesota this morning with a wind chill of 33 below. It's chilly. First thing that comes to mind is Popeye, the Sailor Man. N0 CKV back to net. Everybody have a great weekend.
You are the first one for Popeye. And I liked Popeye too. Milton, WP4VW.
Buenos días, my friend, to you and everybody listening to before me. I'm going to say, you guys took me to memory, but the one that truly was my Saturday morning topic was Woody Woodpecker, the Spanish translation, El Pájaro Loco, like the crazy bird. Yeah, I can relate to that. Have a great weekend. Have a safe one. Be prepared. It will be okay. Blessings, everybody. WP4 Victor with me. Adios.
Thank you, Milton. You're the first one for Woody Woodpecker. Jeff, K8, SMN.
Good morning, Vicki. Everyone on the Brew. This is K8, SMN. Boy, great net. A lot of good memories here. I got to go with Roadrunner. K8, SMN, back to net.
Thank you, Jeff. And just so you know, you've got like a good 10-second tail and hanging up there. I think that's why you get taken off sometimes, as soon as you're hung up. All right, on to Greg, KJ5, LJJ. What was your favorite cartoon as a kid?
I would say my favorite was the Fantastic Four and Spider-Man. KJ5LJJ, back to your net control.
And the first for Fantastic Four, Roger, KO4QMM.
Good morning, Vicki, Dick, Brew Crew, and it would have to be that Roadrunner and Coyote. They kept me very amused, and I think the Coyote was the first one that had 1-800 Amazon, because he could have that Acme stuff delivered same day, and that was pretty cool. And I had my Roadrunner lunchbox with my bologna and cheese sandwich cut diagonally. Back to you guys. Have fun. KO4QMM clear.
Side of the box. Bob, KV2, JVE.
On the net, I'm going to go with Rocky and Bullwinkle, or as Boris and Natasha would have said, Moose Unsquirreled. Have a great day, everyone. Stay warm. KC2JZ, back to net.
Have a good weekend. This is Vicky, K8VKY. Next up, Jeff, KG8QP.
Good morning, Vicky, and everybody out there. Brew, I'm going to go with Bugs Bunny. I remember that one, probably the best. Looney Tunes, watched all of them and enjoyed it. But Bugs Bunny and the ones where they did the operas, those tended to be my favorites. Everybody have a great weekend. Back to net, KG8QP.
Thank you very much. And just so you know, I think that's the clearest I've heard. Rod, WD8KOB.
This is WD8KOB. Well, good morning, Ned. Hope everyone's having a good Friday morning and a good weekend planned. I'm just waiting around to see how much snow we get. Anyway, I guess my answer going way back would be Gumby and Pokey. Back to that, WD8KOB.
And another first. Have a good weekend. Rick, N5GI.
Well, good morning, Vicki, Jeff, everybody on the Brew Crew. Happy Friday. Beautiful morning here in the villages. 56 degrees going up to 80. So we're not complaining. As for the question of the day, well, it's got to be Yabba Dabba Doo, the Flintstones, Betty, Wilma, Fred, and Barney. Y'all have a great weekend. N5GI, back to net.
Somebody in the Zoom room was just saying. Nobody said the Flintstones. KD4, CHT, Alan.
Good morning, Vicki, and everybody on the Brew Crew. I would say, like a lot of people, Bugs Bunny and the Looney Tunes cartoons. KD4, CHT.
Thank you. We got about 2 more here, and then we'll take some more check-ins. KJ's back. KQ4, UXJ. KQ4, UXJ. Well, we're not getting anything, but I assume you're trying or you wouldn't have texted back in. You can always come to the Zoom room if you need help. People are usually there around 3:30, and that is ecr.radio/Zoom. Last on this list, Tim, VE3, TTS.
Vicky, this is VE3 TTS. Tim in cold east winds this morning. My goodness. I'd have to say Roadrunner and Wile E. Coyote. He was almost brilliant, and he was very persistent. Back to that.
Have a good weekend. This is Vicky, K8VKY, with Dick, WB2JPQ. Taking more check-ins twice and slowly, please.
This is Kilo Bravo 8, Papa Lima Victor, KB8 PLV, Chris.
K4 GDS.
Whiskey 5 Delta Bravo Sierra. Whiskey 5 Delta Bravo Sierra.
Kilo Juliet 5 Delta X-Ray Bravo. Kilo Juliet 5 Delta X-Ray Bravo.
AA4 XM.
K8BWK, K8BWK, in and out this morning, Vicky, thank you.
Kilo Romeo 4 India Hotel Delta in and out this morning as well. Kilo Romeo 4 India Hotel Delta.
KR4CKC, KR4CKC.
All right, good morning to the E3REG. This is KR4CKV. Daniel, Pembroke Pines, Florida, was in and out in Mobile this morning. Thank you for checking in with us, KR4IHD. Good morning to Ben, Oregon, Ohio. He was also mobile and in and out. Good morning, have a good weekend. BE5RJM. He's a text check-in. He's going to stick around. Good morning to Micah in Florence, Alabama. Frank in Sugar Land, Texas. Our friend Scott in Jamestown. David in Houston, Texas, W5DBS. Gil in Orlando, K4GDS. And Chris, KB8PLV. It's about 1 minute to the hour. I'm going to turn it over to Jeff, KE0GKF, and he's going to take you back to the barn for the morning brew, and then Vicki and I will be back for the second cup, and I'm sure people will still be talking about cartoons in the second cup. So I hope we took you back to memory lane this morning. That was what it was all about, back to our younger childhood and back into the past. Had a lot of good comments. So over to you, Jeff. Good morning, everyone. See you in an hour. This is WB2JPQ.
Well, good morning, everyone. This is Jeff, KE0GKF. I'm located in Omaha, Nebraska. It keeps getting colder here. We are at negative 6 degrees Fahrenheit here in Omaha, so a lot of people here in the Midwest getting that cold swath coming over us this morning. The question of the day is, when you were a kid, what was your favorite Saturday morning cartoon? Dick and Vicki just called off all these check-ins, so let's go to the top of this list right now, to Chris in Novi, Michigan. KB8PLV, good morning, Chris.
Good morning to Jeff and everyone on the net. Put me down for Super Friends. I guess I like them a little more than the animal cartoons because Super Friends were problem solvers, not problem makers. I guess I was more serious as a kid. Everyone have a great week ahead. Enjoy your weekend. This is KB8PLV, back to net.
Alrighty, Chris, have yourself a great morning. You know, most of these voices on all these check-ins we've had this morning were all done by a man, and I think somebody brought it up earlier in the net, and we were talking about it too. There's a man named Mel Blanc, B-L-A-N-C. He was born in 1908, and he did pretty much all of these voices of these cartoon characters so far. Let's go to Gil in Orlando, Florida, K4GDS. Good morning, Gil.
Good morning, Jeff, Vicki, Vic, everyone else from the Brew. I had so much fun listening to these answers, I almost forgot to check in myself. And I could second a whole bunch of them, like Mighty Mouse and Roadrunner and Super Friends, but I got to go with Josie and the Pussycats. K4GDS, back to net.
All right, Gil, have yourself a fine morning. Let's go to David in Houston, Texas, W5DBS.
Big Texas howdy to the Brew crew this morning. Well, guys, let's see. I'm going to go back to Channel 2, Houston, Texas, which was the only television channel at the time in the late 1940s. And there was a show on there locally called Crusader Rabbit, and I couldn't wait to see it every single morning. The TV didn't even come on till noon, but it was just wonderful. Enjoy it every morning, guys. I'll talk to you probably at the second cup. Back to the net.
All righty, David, have yourself a great morning. I think you're the first with Crusader Rabbit. We got you down. Scott in Jamestown, New York, N7FGP. Scott, it's Fun Button Friday.
Good morning, Jeff. Let's see. How about Underdog? I don't think I've heard that one yet. Anyhow, everybody have a great day. N7FGP.
All righty, Scott. Have a fine morning, sir. Yeah, we got you down for Underdog. I think you are the first with that one as well. Frank in Sugarland, Texas, KJ5DXB.
Good morning, Jeff, Vicki, everybody in the Brew crew. I can second all of these. I was about to say Underdog myself, but I think I'll go with Popeye. Eat my spinach. Thanks, Jeff, for the check-in. Everybody have a great weekend. KJ5DXB. Back to you, sir.
All right, Frank. Have your spinach this morning and get strong like Popeye. Yes, for sure. Micah in Florence, Alabama, AA4XM. Push the fun button, Micah. Micah, you still with us this morning? AA4XM. Nothing heard from Micah this morning. We'll move on. Let's go to Randy in Kenora, Saskatchewan, Canada, BE5RJM. Good morning, Randy.
very good morning to everyone listening here this morning, and keep warm everyone as well. It's nasty cold here in Saskatchewan, minus 34 with a minus 47 wind chill. So I got to go outside this morning and take the wife to work this morning, which is it should be really wake up call there for me then. But just sitting back enjoying my coffee. Yeah, it's a nice question there, and I would think, I like Bugsy there. So Bugs Bunny and, of course, Wile E. Coyote and that bunch there. Those are my favorites, I guess. But there was many favorites back in those days. They had a lot of great cartoons. I recognize most of them that have been said. There is a few there that I don't for some reason. I'll have to check into it later on. Curiosity might bite the tongue here. So, anyways, back to net, and thanks for being there. B5RJM, Randy and Kenora.
All righty, Randy. Have yourself a fine morning. We got you down for Bugs. Bill in the Villages, Florida, KR4CKC.
Good morning, Jeff, and the rest of the Brew. And Jeff, just to let you know, it's now 56 in sunny Florida, going up to 80 today. So we're going to be a little warmer than you there. To answer the question of the day, Bullwinkle and Rocky and Bullwinkle was my favorite. Loving the Natasha and Boris duo. KR4CKC. You all have a great day.
All righty, Bill. Yeah, and we're getting colder by the minute here. It is -6 here. We're not -34 like Canada was. Boy, that's probably going to be the winter today for sure for the coldest. Heading back to Canada, let's go to Reg, VE5REG. Good morning, Reg.
Yeah, good morning, Jeff, and everyone at the Brew. Yeah, well, Randy, V5RGM, he's a little bit north of us, so he's a little bit colder there. We're at -30. And, but there's no wind, so when there's no wind in this province, that makes for not a bad day, no matter how cold it is. Anyways, hope everyone stays warm. I know it's cold down in the States, too. I guess my pick would be Foghorn, Leghorn. We grew up in the one-channel universe, and cartoons were usually on Saturday afternoons, I think, later in the afternoon. And, they'd have a bundle of cartoons, all the popular ones, but I always enjoyed Foghorn, Leghorn. Anyways, thanks for checking me in. Jeff, V5REG will be clearing back to net.
Foghorn Leghorn always cracked me up. Have a good one, Reg. Let's go to Randall in Spring, Texas, K5RLR.
Well, good morning there, Jeff, Vicky, and everybody else on the crew. Excuse me. K5RLR. I would have to say Yogi Bear. That was a favorite of mine. Of course, like everybody else has said, there's been many, but I suppose if I had to pick one, it would be Yogi Bear. Just something about having a picnic basket. Hope everybody has a good day. 7-3 to all, and we'll see everybody here, I guess, Monday morning. Thanks for having that, Jeff. We do appreciate it. K5RLR. Thank you.
Hey, boo-boo. We got you down for Yogi Bear, Randall. Have a good morning. We have two more text check-ins. By the way, the text line is 716-317-9050. Just put your call sign in your phone or your device, whatever you're using there. Vic, you'll get you on the log as soon as you check in. By the text line, let's go to Jim in Murfreesboro, Tennessee, NW4Q.
Good morning, Jeff. Papa, the Sailor Man. Take care.
All right, Jim. Enjoy your spinach this morning. And last on this list is Bill in Hobbs, New Mexico. KI5 PMI. Push the fun button, Bill.
Good morning, Jeff. Everybody on the brew. Put me down for Looney Tunes, please. I liked all of them. Just the sarcasm, and absurdity of life. That's some pretty good stuff. Still enjoy watching them every now and then. Now, hope everybody has a great day and a great weekend. KI5 PMI. Back to net.
All righty, Bill. Have yourself a good one. We got you down for Looney Tunes. We're ready for another round of check-ins. Anyone, anywhere, twice and slowly, please.
2 Oscar Foxtrot Romeo. That far.
2 Vienna Venue. Victor,
W.
Kilo 7 Victor Whiskey Papa. Kilo 7 Victor Whiskey Papa. In and out, please.
November,
KJV, W2, KJV.
Number 2, Uniform Oscar Golf, N2 UOG.
Yankee Delta Mike, KJ4 YTM.
Victor Echo 3 Tango Golf, November. Victor Echo 3 Tango Golf, 10th, Windsor, Ontario, Canada.
Double, Victor Echo 2, Victor Alpha Whiskey.
KR4 GMC. KR4 GMC.
Kilo Golf 5, Papa Delta Mike. Kilo Golf 5, Papa Delta Mike. In and out.
KR4, KR4,
Okay, looks like I've got the reflector. We've got a good list going here from the bottom up. And I'll just do calls for speed. KR4, CQD, KG5, PDM. Jason from Houston, you were an IO this morning. Thanks for stopping by. William, KR4, GNC, you're an IO this morning, so we're going to get to you first. VE3, TGN, KJ4, YDM, N2, UOG, V8, MRA, W2, KJV, NW3U, K7, VWP, K4, NHV, VE2, VAW. We had a station with a K20FR, something like that, in your call. If you could clarify that for us, K20FR, something like that. Clear that up for us, if you would.
Morning, Whiskey 2 Oscar. Oh yeah, that's it. Thank you.
got you down, Mark. Hang tight. Thank you. KQ4GWO. William, you're at the top of the list, but let's go to another William who is mobile in York, South Carolina. KR4GNC. William, when you were a kid, what was your favorite Saturday morning cartoon? Good morning, William.
Good morning. What a great question. Back a lot of memories here listening to everyone. My favorite cartoon was Scooby-Doo. I remember when I was 4 and 5 years old, I used to hide behind the couch and watch Scooby-Doo from behind the couch because it scared me with the monsters. But Scooby-Doo was my go-to. KR4GMC. Thanks for the net. Back to you, Mr. Coach.
Scooby-Doo. We got you down, William. Motor safely and have a fine weekend. Let's go to William in Forest, North Carolina. KQ4GWO.
Excuse me. Thank you, Net Control. Good morning, everybody on the Brew Crew this morning. Wow, this is a good one. But I tell you what I like. Back in the day, my name is Elmer Fudge. Yeah, and I'm hunting that Cooley rabbit. I want to get that Cooley rabbit. Yeah, It's duck season, and sometimes it's rabbit season. Yeah, what a great question. Good morning, everybody, once again. This is Kilo Quebec 4. Go with the Oscar. 73, y'all. Have a super fine weekend and stay safe.
All right, William. Wabbit season, duck season, wabbit. I remember that. Funny stuff. Have a good one, William, and a great weekend. Mark in Killingsworth, Connecticut, W2OFR. Good morning, Mark.
Hey, good morning, Brew Crews. I'm going to double up. I heard this earlier. Johnny Quest. Loved that show, and that little dog of his, Bandit, he was a little troublemaker, so that was a great one. Anyway, to you, Net Control. Everyone have a great week. 73.
All right, Mark. Have a good morning. This is Jeff, KE0GK, with Vicky on the log. It is 18 minutes past the hour. Let's go to Renee up in Canada, VE2VAW. Good morning, Renee.
Good morning. Thank you for giving me the mic. My favorite cartoon is Popeye, Olive, and Princess. Yeah. Here in Grimby, it's 10 below Celsius now. 73 to our station in USA. Thank you for giving me the mic. V2VAW at Grimby in Quebec.
All righty, Renee. Have a good one and stay warm. Nick, friend who was once up here and now down in Sebring. Good morning, Nick. E4NHV.
Yeah, good morning, Jeff. Everybody here on the net. It's not 6 below here. It's 63 here right now. You know, Jeff, I don't really remember the Saturday morning cartoons that much, but in Omaha we had them on Channel 3, and in the afternoon around 4:30, right after we got home from school. And especially remember the Road Runner and Bugs Bunny, that type of stuff. Anyway, everybody have a wonderful day and a weekend. Thanks for tuning in. K4NHV.
All righty, Nick. Yeah, good old Channel 3. Still going strong here in Omaha. Have a good one, Nick. Good talking to you again. Mike in South Ogden, Utah, K7VWP.
Mike
Mike, K7VWP. I think my favorite would have been Flintstones. K7VWP, back to net.
That was my second choice, Mike. Have a good morning. David in Garner, North Carolina, NW3U.
Good morning to everybody out there in radio land, NW3U here. Sitting down and waiting to see what we're going to get in weather here. Looks like they've shifted it north, maybe getting just less than we expected. Anyhow, answer to the question today, Wile E. Coyote. That guy sure got himself a lot of trouble chasing that roadrunner around, but oh well, he's persistent. So everybody have a good day and have a good weekend. We'll check with you Monday morning, 7:30 NW3U.
All right, David, have yourself a great morning. Tony, one of our network facilitators in Florida, W2KJV.
Good morning, Jeff and Vicky, everyone on the Morning Brew. My favorite was Al Kabong. He was quick draw alter ego. Back to you, Jeff, W2KJV.
All right, Tony, have a great morning, sir. Michael in Trenton, Michigan, W8MRA. Push the fun button.
Good morning to all from W8MRA here in Trenton. I'm going to say one that probably most ain't heard of because I would watch it on the Windsor, Ontario station. The Friendly Giant. That one fascinated me for some reason. Only our friends in Ontario and throughout Canada will remember that one. W8MRA.
Okay, Michael, the Friendly Giant it is. Another one I haven't heard yet is Grape Ape. Anybody remember Grape Ape? Have a good morning. Sal in Spring Hill, Florida, N2UOG.
Good morning, Jeff, Vicky, and everybody else out there. Yeah, good questions of the day. Balmy here in Spring Hill, Florida. Well, there's so many out there that I enjoyed, but I think the best one that I really enjoyed was one called Winky Dink. I don't know if everybody remembers that. Winky Dink. That was great. And you know what? There was something you could acquire. I'm not sure if it was you sent away for it or you bought it at the store at the time, but it was like a thin film plastic screen that you press onto your TV screen, and it came with a crayon of some sort. And when Winky Dink got into a trouble, like he needed to cross a bridge, and there was no bridge for you to cross, for him to cross, you would draw a bridge, you would draw a line, and Winky would be able to cross the bridge. Yeah, Winky Dink was my favorite, going way back when. Back to net control. Thank you. This is N2UOG.
All right, Sal. Yeah, that would have been high tech back then for sure. Let's go to Miramar, Florida to KJ4YDM. Good morning.
Well, this is KJ4YDM, Miramar, Florida. My name is Ezekiel, Papa, Echo, November, Oscar, Tango. Well, to answer that question, I wasn't fortunate to be able to have it, whatever, to watch this cartoon. And besides that, Saturday morning, around this time, I'm always at church. That's another teaching until now. Well, thank you anyway for taking me. You guys have a great day. 17, everybody.
All righty. Have a fine weekend, sir. Thanks for stopping by. Tim in Windsor, Ontario, Canada, VE3TGN. Good morning, Tim.
Morning, Jeff. Vicky, there,
Popeye the Sailor. Yes. He used to give the kick out. Eat that spinach, and he would be a real powerhouse there. This is 333 and back to control. Popeye.
Yeah, Tim, once you said spinach, I knew the answer already. Had you in the log. We got you down for Popeye. Thanks for checking in. Have a good weekend. We have Douglas, Frank, Terry, Mike, and Robert. Perry, Doug, and Leo all came in via the text line this morning. Let's add to that with some radio check-ins, and we'll get started with this list. Twice and slowly, please.
Whiskey 8, Bravo, Papa, Delta. W8BPD.
KF8, DIC. KF8, Detroit, Rock City.
KE2DOS.
In the mobile.
KJ5,
KF8, FHB, KF8, FHB.
November 1, Whiskey, Echo, Bravo, and 1 WEB.
KJ5MLZ, KJ5MLZ Mobile.
KD2IWN, KD2IWN.
Kilo Delta 2, Kilo Alpha Kilo, mobile, in and out. Kilo Delta 2, Kilo Alpha Kilo, mobile, in and out.
Delta 7, Alpha Alpha Golf. Kilo Delta 7, Alpha Alpha Golf. Mark in North Carolina.
New York, you were an IO. Have a good weekend. Tim, KD2IWN, N1WEB Web, KF8 FHB John, KD2WBZ Bob, KJ5MLZ Ezra, you're mobile, you're going to be first. KE2DOS Vincent, KF8 Detroit Rock City Jack. We had a station with a WBDG, something like that. Did we get that call right? W8BDG?
The call should be Whiskey 8, Bravo, Papa, Delta, W8BPD.
All right, Brian. Yeah, your signal's a little marginal, but we got you in there. W8BPD, hang tight. K4ITA Leo, WA8CLG Doug, K4PJM Perry, and again, Robert, Mike, Terry, Frank, and Douglas via the text line. Let's do Ezra first because he's on the road in Louisiana, KJ5MLZ. Ezra, good morning. Question of the day is, when you were a kid, what was your favorite Saturday morning cartoon? Good morning, Ezra.
KJ5
KJ5, LC. Good morning, Net Control, and everybody on the Brew Crew. Man, I'm gonna go with Scooby-Doo. That was one of my favorites. KJ5, MLZ. Back to you, Net Control. Everyone have a great weekend. 73.
All right, Scooby-Doo. It is, Ezra. Motor safely. And our lucky 100th check-in is up next. Douglas in Wilton Manors, Florida. KR4CQD, lucky 100, Douglas. Push the fun button.
Well, good morning, Net. I have to say, this is just tons of fun this morning. If we're including stop motion and not just only animation, then I absolutely have to go with Gumby, Pokey, the Blockhead, Milky. Oh, man, that stuff was so great. Back to Net.
Okay, you have a good one in Florida and have a good weekend. Frank in Lancaster, New York, KC2JPQ.
Good morning, Jeff and Vicky and everybody on the... my favorite cartoon was called Top Cat, and not much going on today, Jeff. Trying to stay warm and stay ahead of the snow a little bit. I know it's cold over there, but stay warm. I'll talk to you next week. KC2JPQ.
All righty, Frank. Yeah, summer can't come soon enough for me. I love the heat. This -7 now that we're here in Omaha is, I'm done with it already. Terry in Austin, Texas, N5, RTC.
Good morning, Jeff, Vicky, and the rest of the morning brewers. Well, someone guessed the one that I was going to suggest. I'm still going to suggest it, but you had to grow up with black and white TV back in the mid-50s, Saturday morning on CBS, Winky Dink. So, I know M2UOG got there before me, but that was the one. If you don't know Winky Dink, look it up in Wikipedia. N5 RTC. Back to Net Control.
All right, Terry. Yeah, you are the second one, as you know, with Winky Dink. Have a good morning. We'll talk to you later. Mike in Grosse Pointe, Michigan. N8HLN.
Good morning, Jeff, and everyone on the crew this morning. Looking back, I have to say that my favorite was the Roadrunner and Wile E. Coyote. There you go. So everyone stay warm and be safe out there. Have a great weekend. N8HLN.
All right, Mark. Yeah, my first choice was Tom and Jerry. Kind of like Wile E. Coyote and the Roadrunner. Their goal was just to destroy each other all day. And then the next scene, they're fine. And then I noticed Tom and Jerry got a little bit softer over the years, they ban that stuff nowadays from cartoons. We were rolling as kids watching them blow each other up. Have a good morning. Robert in Deltona, Florida, KJ4 ZFM.
Oh, my goodness. You picked a real fun subject this morning. And if I have to break whatever's going on with the rules this morning, I'm going to say I had two of them. One of them, Mush Mouse and Pumpkin Puss. That little crazy-ass mouse used to throw bricks at that cat, and that cat loved it. And my favorite of all time was Speed Racer. If I wanted to be a race car driver, and I still would love to drive a race car. Kilo Jupiter 4, everyone have a blessed day. Jupiter Foxtrot Michael, clear.
go Speed Racer, Robert. Have a good weekend. Perry in Leesburg, Florida, K4 PJM.
Well, good morning, Jeff, Vicky, and everybody on the Friday Morning Brew. As far as animation goes, my favorite one was Underdog. But the non-animation one was my favorite one to watch. Used to be Captain Kangaroo, one of my favorite shows to watch. Everybody have a blessed and safe weekend. It's K4 PJM. Back to net.
Oh, yeah, and Mr. Green Jeans alongside his sidekick. Have a good one, Perry. Doug in Homosassa, Florida, WA8CLG.
This is WA8CLG. Very good morning, everybody. Well, I certainly have enjoyed listening to all of the answers because, believe it or not, when I was growing up, we didn't have television. I think I was about 13 or 14 before television came into our house. So that kind of gives away how old I am, but anyway, I do remember the comic books and Henry, if anybody remembers that one. Everybody have a good day and a good weekend. WA8CLG. Back to you, Jeff.
All right, Doug. Yeah, I remember those times. You know, we had no computers, we had no internet, we had no cell phones, you know, and some of us still didn't have TVs yet. I get it. Have a good morning. Leo in Fort Lauderdale, Florida, K4ITA.
Morning. Good morning, Jeff and Vicky. Good morning from the beautiful Fort Lauderdale. It's a beautiful day today, 74 degrees, lots of sunshine. And, I'm 63, so I was a kid in Italy in the, let's say, end of 60s, 70, 71, 72, around that. We had just two channels, two TV channels, channel 1, channel 2, black and white, of course, no color. And my favorite was Scooby-Doo. Scooby-Doo, yeah. Everybody, a great day. Stay safe and careful with the storm. This is K4ITA.
All right, Leo, have a good morning. Happy LePew. Nobody said that yet. Brian in Warren, Michigan, W8BPD.
Good morning, Jeff, Vicky, and the rest of the Brew crew. I used to fight my brother and sister so I could watch Speed Buggy and Speed Racer. I would have to say Speed Buggy because I thought the Dune Buggy was cooler. Anyways, everybody stay warm, enjoy, and have a great day. W8BPD, back to net control.
All righty, Brian. Have a fine weekend. It's 39 minutes past the hour for those on the road and getting to where you need to be. The second cup is coming up in about 21 minutes here at the top of the hour. Say good morning to Dick and Vicky. It's Friday, so of course the second cup is coming up. Excuse me. And check in. So stay connected at the top of the hour. Keep those repeaters connected and your nodes because the second cup is coming up. Jack in Rochester, Michigan, KF8, Detroit Rock City. Good morning, Jack.
Good morning, Jeff. Good morning, everyone. Yes, I used to watch Genie and the Drum and Scooby-Doo. And also I used to watch Gilligan Island. And that's all I have for you, Jeff. Have a good day, everyone. KF8, Detroit Rock City.
Yes, the SS Minnow, Gilligan's Island. Yeah, have a good one, Jack. Vincent in New York, KE2DOS. When you were a kid, what was your favorite Saturday morning cartoon, Vincent?
This is Vincent, KE2DOS. Thanks for the Brew Crew for letting me come in here. And my answer is going to be Bugs Bunny and the Roadrunner show, but equally as well as Josie and the Pussycats. I don't think I heard that one yet. Anyway, that's what I've got. Thanks for bringing me in. KE2DOS, back to you.
All right, Vincent. Yeah, earlier in my hour here, there was a Josie and the Pussycats. Have a good morning. Bob in Cortland, New York, KD2, WBZ.
Morning, folks. Well, there was quite a few, but I'm going to have to say mine was probably Bugs Bunny. That guy always cracked me up. He was a good guy. All right, hey, guys, stay warm.
Wabbit season. Bob, have a good morning. John and Brian, KF8, FHB.
Good morning, this is KF8, FHB. I'd have to say probably mine was Animaniacs. More from the 90s. Sitting in the car and -11 wind chill right now. You guys have a good day.
Alrighty, John. Maniacs, it is. Have a good weekend. Webb in Collierville, Tennessee, N1, WEB.
Thank you, Jeff. Did you say Webbit? Put me down for Roadrunner. Boy, there's so many choices. But before you mentioned Grape Ape, my brother had a good friend in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, and his nickname was Grape Ape. And I never really knew where that came from. N1 WEB.
Well, now you know, Webb. Grape Ape. He said he would say something like, Grape Ape, Grape Ape. He'd run around a dune buggy or something like that. Have a good one. Tim in Hamburg, New York, KD2IWN.
Morning, Al, Vicky, everybody on the Brew Crew. Boy, this is taking me back. I was cartoons, still watch cartoons. It's still on Saturday mornings here in Western New York on MeTV. Looney Tunes, for sure, is number one. I mean, Bugs Bunny Roadrunner Hour was huge. I have so many. I love the Flintstones. I've got Pink Panther was also in that morning. Love the Pink Panther, and being close to Canada, as far as claymation goes, you know, Gumby, Davy and Goliath, Land of Oz, all that stuff. Just, I couldn't get enough on Saturday morning, boy. I couldn't get enough. Ate a lot of sugar, watched a lot of cartoons, and then zipped outside and bounced off the walls. 73, everybody, stay warm this weekend. This is KD2IWN.
Yeah, we did eat a lot of sugar in our younger days. They thought that was good for us back then. You know, the food pyramid did make a change. The Food and Drug Administration just did it real quiet, like, sorry, we messed up the last 100 years. They just changed it. You might want to look at that. Have a good morning. Mark in Washington, KD7, AAG. Good morning, Mark.
KD7 AAG, actually near Raleigh, North Carolina right now. East Coast right now. But my favorite cartoon has got to be Hanna-Barbera's Scooby-Dooby-Doo. And in fact, I actually got to know the gentleman that wrote the music to that song, to the score to that show. And in fact, he used to write all the music for Hanna-Barbera there in Southern California. And I got to play in some bands growing. That was quite a blast. Anyway, 73 KD7 AUG.
All righty, Mark. Have a good one. Yeah, my father had a picture on his wall from the main animator of Popeye cartoon on his wall. It was pretty cool. Have a good morning. Don in Hollywood, Florida, W4 PPX. Good morning, Don.
Good morning, Al, Vicky, everybody on the Brew Crew this morning. Put me down for Heckle and Jekyll.
Those two crazy big black magpies. W4PPX, back to you.
Righty, Don. Have a good morning. Scott in Buffalo, New York, W2BLT. Good morning, Scott.
Hey, good morning, Jeff and everybody on the net. I got to go with Mighty Mouse. He came out was young, and I don't think I've missed one of them. But Mighty Mouse it is. Everybody have a great weekend. Stay out of the storm. This is W2BLT.
All righty, Scott. Good hearing you again, and out of the cold for sure that we're getting all across the country here. Have a good morning. Bob in Leesburg, Florida, W3ICQ.
Morning, Jeff. Yeah, every time somebody mentioned another cartoon, I thought, yeah, that one I liked. That was my favorite. But I guess I've got to go with Roadrunner over all of them. Back to you, W3ICQ. Everybody have a great day today.
Roadrunner. Remember the song? I don't. That's the only part I know. Have a good one. Mark in New York, WA2NYY.
Good morning, everybody on the net. Thanks for doing all you do on the net, WA2NYY. My favorite would be Bugs Bunny and all his sarcastic remarks, and then probably followed by Mighty Mouse. Back to net, WA2NYY, 73.
All righty, Mark. Good hearing you this morning. Have a fine weekend. Stick around for the second cup coming up here in about 15, 14, 13 minutes. It's 47 minutes past the hour. Ken travels back and forth. A friend of mine from Council Bluffs, Iowa, 10-minute drive from me. I lived there for 36 years. Ken, good morning. Good to hear you back on the radio. You're, I'm assuming, down in Florida. AAOUU. Ken, good morning.
Well, good morning, Jeff. Yeah, it's truly a pleasure to hear your melodic voice again. It's probably been 5 years or so since I actually talked on radio. Hey, I'll catch you more often though now. My favorite would probably have been Yogi and Boo Boo Bear after that picnic basket. But another one that I just thought of that I'll just throw out there that was also fun was Marvin the Martian. Hey, 7-3s, buddy, and Vicky, thanks back there in the back room. Everybody have a great day. AA0UU. Back to you, Jeff.
Ken, it's good to hear you back on the radio, my friend. Have a good weekend. Chuck in Lancaster, New York, W2EM.
We first got on TV in, I think, 1950, and that's when I was watching cartoons. And that was before a lot of these other cartoons even came out. But I think my favorite was Looney Tunes with Bugs Bunny and Daffy Duck and the rest of the crew there. So you can put me down for that. And hope everybody has a good time this weekend on Winter Field Day. I'm going to be doing Winter Field Day down here in Florida. And I know my group is up north is going to be doing it, so if you're out there doing it, have a good day. W2EM.
All righty, have fun at the field day, Chuck, and we got you down for Looney Tunes heading there. Mel Blanc's voice, the man of 1,000 voices. And last on this list, and we'll be ready for another round of check-ins, Gary in Woodhaven, Michigan, N8CFH.
Good morning, Jeff, Vicky, and the rest of the crew. I don't think there's many I heard that I didn't like, but put me down for Rocky and Bullwinkle, please. At 8CFH, back to net.
Rocky and Bullwinkle it is. Thanks for rounding out this list for us, Gary. We had Don come in via the text line while we were taking those check-ins. We're ready for another round of check-ins. We've got plenty of time. We've got 10 minutes for another good list here. Come twice and slowly.
Kilo Juliet 5, Alpha X-Ray Charlie. Kilo Juliet 5, Alpha X-Ray Charlie Mobile.
This is.
November 3, Mike Delta Charlie. November 3, Mike Delta Charlie.
Kilo Charlie 3, Foxtrot Golf Delta.
Kilo Alpha 5, Papa Uniform Delta. Kilo Alpha 5, Papa Uniform Delta.
Kilo Juliet 5, Mike Echo Lima. Kilo Juliet 5, Mike Echo Lima. Jose, Kentucky.
Whiskey Delta Papa India Charlie. Whiskey Delta 8, Papa India Charlie.
Two-tone blue, KN4, TTB.
Kilo Oscar 4, Mike Kilo. Kilo Oscar 4, Mike Kilo. In and out.
Kilo Romeo 4, Echo X-Ray Victor. Kilo Romeo 4, Echo X-Ray Victor. Good morning.
Okay, we'll go with this list right here to take us to the top of the hour. I'm going to go for speed here. We have KK4MOW, KR4EXV, KO4MMK. Jeff, you were in IO down in Florida. Have a good weekend. W5MHG, Mark, KN4TTB, Steve, WD8PIC, Bob, KJ5MEL, Jose, KA5PUD, Paul, N3MDC, Michael, KC3FGD, Ray, WB1DXN, Daryl. We had a station in there. All we got was an X. Give us your call real quick.
Kilo Juliet 5, Alpha X-Ray Charlie.
Okay, we got you in there, Lewis, and it looks like you're mobile too, so we're going to get to you first. And Don is at the top of the list, HC4DA. We also, let's see, I think, Vicky's just cleaning up the list here. Thank you, Vic. Let's go to Lewis in Houston, Texas, KJ5AXC. Lewis, the question of the day is, when you were a kid, what was your favorite Saturday morning cartoon? Good morning, Lewis.
Good morning, Brew Crew. I'm going to have to break the rules. Space Coast with a close second is Johnny Quest. KJ5AXC, back to net.
All right, Lewis, have yourself a good one. Motor safely. Let's go to HC4. Hey, Don, over the big pond. Good morning.
Well, it's actually down south, not over. Anyway, yeah, I actually like this one. It was a little later when I was a little old. Ren and Stimpy, really liked it. All right, turn it back to net. Everyone have a great day and great weekend.
All right, you have yourself a good one, Don. Thanks for stopping by. Let's go to Daryl in Concord, New Hampshire. 1 DXN.
WB1DXN to the morning net. WB, I guess it was the Bugs Bunny there. I got a lot of them, but since this is a quick round, I'm not going to take you up for your time. Everybody have a safe day. WB1DXN.
Daryl, thanks for stopping by. Have a good weekend. Stick around for the second cup, everyone, coming up in 5 minutes. Ray in Elizabethtown, Pennsylvania, KC3FGD. It's speed round, Ray.
Yeah, good morning, Jeff. Yeah, mid-40s, I'm thinking Tom and Jerry. That's what I watched a lot of. Back to net.
My favorite, too, as well, Ray. Have a good one. Michael in North Carolina, N3MDC. It's speed round, Michael.
All right, I'll make it quick there, Jeff. Jeff, no one's ever said this. Sam the sheepdog and Ralph the wolf from Looney Tunes. Ralph always tried to get a sheep, but Sam the sheepdog would never have one. That's my favorite because always made me laugh. So back to you, Jeff, N3MDC.
Michael, thanks for stopping by. Stick around for second cup. Paul in Montgomery, Texas, KA5PUD. Speed round, Paul.
Good morning, Brew crew. I'd have to say the Roadrunner. Back to net, KA5PUD.
Roadrunner it is. Let's go to Jose in Austin, Texas, KJ5MEL. Fun button, Jose.
Yeah, Ben and Jerry. KJ5MEL, back to the control room.
All right, maybe you're thinking Tom and Jerry, but yeah, Ben and Jerry. Wasn't that ice cream? I think that was some really good ice cream. Have a good morning. Bob in Sylvania, Ohio, WD8PIC. Speed round, Bob.
A lot of them, but front row, Scooby-Doo, 7 degrees at my location. Stay warm, and I'll be praying for all the people that are affected by the storm. Back to net.
All righty, Bob. Have a great morning. Stick around and talk to Dick and Vicky. Steve in Largo, Florida, KN4TTB. Steve, good morning.
Vicky, Dick, and the crew. This one's a real easy one. It's got to be G.I. Joe, a real American hero. And there you go, Jeff. Now you know. And knowing is half the battle. KN4TTB. Back to net.
Steve, we have like 4 left on the net here, and you're the first one, I believe, with G.I. Joe. Excellent stuff. Have a good morning. Mark in Albuquerque, New Mexico, W5MHG. You and Gracie, good morning.
Well, good morning, W5MHG. Bugs Bunny for me, Underdog for Gracie. W5MHG, thanks for doing a do to Vicky, and we love that text line. 7-3.
All right, Mark. Always give Gracie a little piece of cheese for us this morning. Have a good morning. John in High Springs, Florida, KR4EXV. Speed round, John.
Good morning. I'm going to go with Hong Kong Fooey. Y'all have a great day. Back to net, KR4EXV.
All righty, John. Have a fine morning. Joe in Orange City, Florida, KK4MOW.
Certainly I was the last one because I take them all. I don't know where to begin. KK4, Micah Oscar Whiskey. But I'm going to go with Chili Willy. KK4, back to the MOW, back to the net. Everybody stay safe.
Chili Willy it is. And thanks for wrapping up the net for us, too, Joe. You have yourself a fine weekend. Well, that wraps up the Friday edition of the Morning Brew. Everyone have a fantastic weekend. The second cup, and we had, well, what was it, 138 check-ins this morning. Excellent net. Almost 140 check-ins. Good to hear everyone out there this morning. Dick and Vicky are coming up here in about a minute. And so stick around, everyone. Stay connected. Stay according to Dick and Vicky. and we'll wrap up the weekend. Everyone have a fantastic one. This is KE0GKF. Dick will put about 20 seconds of silence in for stations that want to connect and disconnect. Have a great morning, everyone. We're clear.
Morning again, everyone. This is Dick once again for the Friday morning. This is the second cup with Dick and Vicky, K8VKY. I'm Dick again, WB2JPQ. Great question this morning. Full disclosure, I can't take full credit for that. We somehow got talking about cartoons last night after the N1 KE question and answer period in the Zoom room at 8 o'clock. This was probably, maybe 9:30. And I don't know, I looked at Gil. Gil looked at me, and I said, gee, that would be a good morning brew question. He says, yeah, I can't wait. So I decided to do it, but I can't take full credit for it. But it was a good question. And I've got texts and emails this morning that I really like these kind of questions that make you think. So we'll see what we can do on Fridays for memory lane questions. All right, gee whiz, we don't even have anybody this morning on the text line, I guess. No Bob? That's unusual. We usually have Bob on the text line. Do any mobiles like to get in here and say good morning? We don't have a question on the second cup. We like to hear what's on your mind, and you can ask us a question if you like, and just speak your mind. So, any mobiles? We usually catch some late mobiles. Any mobiles like to get in here this morning and say hello?
KQ8U 2 CJM Whiskey 2 Charlie Juliet Mike.
KR4CQD Mobile. KR4CQD.
Kilo Bravo 2 Whiskey Golf Charles in and out. Whiskey 2 Juliet Papa Mike. Alrighty, that's a good start. Good morning to John. These are all mobile. John is in Bethpage, New York, W2JPM. Kevin, Homosassa, Florida, was in and out with us this morning, KB2WGC. Have a nice day, nice weekend, Kevin. Douglas, from South Florida, KR4CQD. Charles, W2CJM. And Bob is here this morning. I guess we just hadn't rolled the text line over to this event yet. Bob, good morning to you. Let me get these mobiles and we'll get back to you. Good morning, Charles. W2CGM. What's on your mind this morning? Everybody's sitting here thinking about cartoons. A couple people texted in and said they don't normally stay for the whole nut, but they couldn't get away from the radio this morning, so I guess that's a good sign. Good morning, Charles.
Speaking of cartoons, mine was Popeye and Bugs Bunny. I want to know, how much snow do you actually get up in Buffalo?
We got you, Charles. You asked me a question, and then we had a IRLP note hang up, and I guess none of us were ready to block it real quick here this morning. What was the question, Charles?
I want to know how much snow do you actually get in Buffalo?
Time, Charles. I'm sorry. How much snow do we get in Buffalo? I got about 30 inches the other day, and we had maybe 12 on the ground. But I'm south of Buffalo. I'm up on the hill. I'm right in the snow belt area. I overlook Buffalo and Niagara Falls. The city doesn't get what we get out here in the southern tier. But in Western New York, it's just another day. I hear these guys talking. What are they going to do with 8 inches of snow? We call that a dusting here in Western New York. We get that. Sometimes we've had storms here over the years that lasted 24 hours with a snow band, and the rate is 4 inches an hour. It just would sit there for 24 plus hours. That's what it did the other day. We had a band over my area here south of Buffalo. It just sat there for over 24 hours, and it was about 2 inches an hour. It wasn't that bad, but just never moved. You go 5 miles or 8 miles either direction, and they didn't have any snow. Hey, thanks for the question this morning, Charles. You have a good, safe weekend. Let me go to Douglas. KR4CQD. Good morning. What's on your mind this morning, Doug?
Well, good morning. I have to say right up front, I'm a huge Denver Broncos fan, and I know, of course, our good friends in Buffalo have had a very, very rough week. So I don't know if anybody wants to talk football. Obviously, the Broncos are in a tough position with Bo Nix being out for the season. And again, condolences to my friends in Buffalo. Situation there is pretty rough. Go Broncos. KR4CQD, back to net.
I guess all I can say to that, Doug being a Buffalo Bills fan and living only a few miles from the stadiums, and that's plural right now. We have, as you know, a new one being built and just about built across the road from the old stadium. Our last game was played a few weeks back, and now they're beginning to tear the stadium apart and sell everything from urinals to the seats to the plaques on the wall, and everything is up for sale. And I guess it's quite a thing. There's just lists and lists and lists of people in line for memorabilia. So it's all good, but I think the Broncos got very lucky. And I'm sure you've heard all the controversy about it. Our coach in Buffalo was fired. Been on the news here every day since Saturday. So anyway, thank you, Douglas. I gotta go to John in Bethpage, New York. W2 PJM. Good morning, John.
I'm doing okay. I'm just preparing for this weekend. I was like a Woody Woodpecker.
The morning brew question is hanging over. A lot of people will be talking about that. Scott had a question a few months back on how do you cut your sandwiches, diagonally or straight across? And I swear, every time I cut a sandwich from that day on, I think of that morning brew question. So things do stick with you. John, where are you going to go? You said this weekend you're preparing. Where are you going to go for a field day?
There's a few clubs near me, so I might go to one of those clubs.
Never participated in winter field day. Guess I became an indoor person after I retired. Spent enough days out in the cold and so forth. And never done anything. Winter field day never was a big thing in Western New York here till a few years ago. And, it's nothing like summer field day, but some groups and people do participate. We go up to Bob in Ecorse, Michigan. Sorry to harm you, Bob, but I guess we were a little slow getting the text over this morning. KQ8U, what's on your mind this morning? Are you still thinking about Roadrunner?
Morning, Dick, Vicky. I was picked the Thunderbirds, the Marionette Rescue Team, but I can't believe I didn't name Felix the cat because that car, it's on my profile on Zoom. That car is named Felix, and he's got Felix airbrushed on the deck lid. I couldn't believe I didn't pick that. How scantily remiss of me. I got to go to the doctor in a few minutes in my checkup and stuff like that. It's going to get cold. He's worried about is the furnace going to break, is the pipe's going to break. It's not the right. Maybe he'll give me some tranquilizers. Everybody, good day. I'll be on the youth net. KQ8U, back to net.
Oh, don't worry, Bob. Things will be just fine. On the water, just leave it dripping a little bit. If you ever got a problem there, just leave it run just a little bit. Thanks for being here every day, Bob. Bob never misses. He was our number one on check-ins last year for the entire year for the Morning Brew, and I'm going to publish that in Dick's Corner in the upcoming magazine for February, so everybody can see it. I did put it on Facebook. Got the top 20 people. And Bob was number one. I can't quite figure it out. There was 251 days. Bob said he didn't miss a day, and he only got credit for 250. So we got a little bit of discrepancy, but I think we'll just forget about it. Let me go to Bob in Leesburg, Florida. Good morning, Bob. W3ICQ. And 12 past the hour, this is Dick, WB2JPQ.
Good morning, Dick. The Morning Brew questions that make you think way back about what happened when you were a kid. What did he do when you were a kid? Those are really kind of fun types of things to keep you listening to. We're down here in warm weather today. It's going to get into the 80s, and so 80s and sunny. So I'm going to back out one of my cars and break out my toolkits and put in some new taillights on one of my cars. Make them a little bit brighter. Actually, the backup lights. Make them a little bit brighter than they are. I don't know if my eyes are getting worse than they are, but they don't seem to light up very much. So that's my task for today. Back to you, Dick.
I agree with you, Bob. Seems like some of these headlights are just blinding. I don't know. They told me, that's cataract. I had cataract surgery probably 15 years ago. Well, I didn't see any improvement. At night, some of these headlights are still too darn bright. But I noticed the same thing. Tail lights are not as bright. Headlights are way too bright. I got Perry from Leesburg and Gil from Orlando here on the log. We'll give Vicky a chance to get in here this morning and say hello. So anybody anywhere like to get on here the second cup and have a little fun with us, talk about what's on your mind, call signs twice.
This is Kilo Bravo 8, Papa Lima Victor, KB8 PLV, Chris.
Kilo Charlie 8, Mike Zulu Tango. Kilo 8, Mike Zulu Tango.
Kilo Quebec 4, Uniform X-Ray Juliet. Kilo Quebec 4, Uniform X-Ray Juliet. And I'm going to have to be in and out.
WD8PIC.
Kilo Charlie 3 Foxtrot Golf Delta. Kilo Charlie 3 Foxtrot Golf Delta.
Kilo 5, Mike Papa Hotel, K5MPH, in and out.
Kilo Kilo Charlie 1, November Bravo,
KJ5LJJ, in and out.
YNB checking in.
LW.
This is Vicky K8VKY. We counted GLW, and we'll just assume WB2 GLW. Also in there we had KJ5 LJJ, KC1 YNB, K5 MPH in and out, W9 QJQ, KC3 FGD, WD8 PIC, KQ4 UXJ, KC8 MGT, K4 ATA, KB8 PLV, K4 GDS, and K4 PJM. And don't mind me, my voice is a little rough as the furnace sucks the moisture out of the air while it tries to get me out of sub-zero temperatures. First up, Perry, K4 PJM, what's on your mind?
Well, good morning to Vicky and everybody on the second cup. I had to go get my second cup so I could do the second cup. I think it's a rule for me. What I'm up to today is, and for the next several days, going to be cramming for taking my general. So I've been sitting here working on the practice quizzes, hoping I can get that done for hamcations when I plan on taking the test. I'm excited about getting that finally done. Other than that, it's going to be, my break is going to be a little yard work. We are in Florida. We actually got weather so I could put a pair of shorts on yesterday. That was amazing. I know I get very little sympathy from the group here. I understand that, but it gets cold when it's 50. I am just kidding. Well, you guys do a great job. You, especially Vicky, your commitment to this, all of it is amazing. So we really appreciate you. K4, PJM, everybody have a safe weekend.
Thank you, I appreciate it. So I wouldn't even give you a hard time about 50 degrees being cold. All right, on to Gil, K4, TDS.
Good morning, Vicky and Dick. I had a busy day ahead. I'm working this morning and then meeting a friend for lunch. And then the wife and I are heading out to a winery nearby for a private tour. Something I've been promising her for a while, so we're going to get out and do that. Really excited about the turnout last night, the M1KE event. That looks like that's going to become a regular event now. People seem to be very interested. And Vicky, I don't know how you do it. I heard those call signs coming in. I was watching the log sheet, and I don't know how you pulled some of those out of there. Now that I'm doing some logging myself, I have even more appreciation for what you managed to pull out of thin air sometimes. Have a great day, K4 GDS, back to net.
Thanks, Phil. It's a big part of saying your call sign twice. So when you double, I can get one call sign from one person and another call sign from the other. So anytime you want to get in, call once if you hope to get in, call two if you'd really like to get in. Next up, Chris, KB8, PLV.
Morning, Dick. Morning, Vicky. And he is right. You have a clear focus on hearing all those and pulling them out. Amazing. Two things on my mind is today I'm celebrating with my third born's golden birthday. I guess that's when your birthday is the same as your age. So he turns 23 today on January 23rd. I didn't know that was a thing. And then a quick etiquette question for the East Coast Reflector. If you're logged in and you get called out, but your equipment is acting up, or sometimes they take down the node or the repeater or the GM, is it okay to come back later and relog in, or just take the in and out and just wait till the next time, the next day? Didn't know what the proper way to handle that is when you have like temporary equipment problems. Everyone have a good weekend ahead. Thanks for your help. KB8 PLV, back to net.
Yeah, absolutely. You can come back in. It's no problem at all. It's actually pretty common. Leo, K4 ITA.
Morning, Vicky. Morning, Dick. Nice to hear you, Vicky. And, well, I'm happy to be here in the relaxing second cup.
Weekend coming along, so gonna be busy running a small business. Weekend is always busy, but take some time to this weekend. There is the under 60-meter contest. It's gonna be a long night, probably tomorrow night, and also there is the Australia contest. I like contests, so when I have time, I try to get into them. It's gonna be the winter winter field days, but cannot go, too busy. Okay, everybody a great day. Thank you for doing this great net. This is K488.
Thanks. That's gone. Thank you, Leo. Kind of just gave me an idea. Nobody ever kind of enforces having businesses. Maybe we can put something in the magazine. Just thought. Andrew, KC8, MZT. KC8, MZT. Sitting here just talking about hitting call signs. The first thing when I start hearing call signs, I forget everything else, in and outs included. So if you're in and out and you get called in, that's probably why you're just doubled it. Bob, WD8PIC.
Okay, WD8PIC. Well, I got nothing planned for today. I'm going to stay in with the cold, and they're calling for 6 inches or more of snow here as of right now for Sunday, and we'll have to wait and see if that works out or not. Everybody have a great rest of the day, and like I said, I'll be praying for people down south that may get tons of ice. That is not good. Be careful, and I might listen around a little bit to the winter field day, but I won't participate. I mean, I might give some people a few contacts, but that's about it. So, see, and I'm doing great. So, just weathering the cold. 7 degrees still here at just west of Toledo. Back to net control. You're doing a great job, Vicky. WD8PIC.
Thank you, and I appreciate it. Yeah, it's so cold that the snow has glitter and is crunchy. Next up, Ray, KC3 SGD.
Hey, good morning, Vicky, Dick, everyone on the net here. Hey, always great to hear your voice here. Hey, everybody likes to hear what's going on in my gardens. In the wintertime, there's still work to be done. Yesterday it got to be almost 50 degrees here, so I went up and worked on my raspberry canes in the one plot. So I got those all set for springtime, and made me very pleased. Everyone have a wonderful day. Back to net control.
Thank you, and I'm assuming you have a warm greenhouse or something. Keith, W9QJQ.
Well, good morning, Vicky. Yeah, everybody and what you do. I appreciate it. Well, I'm not going to do nothing today. I'm showing a minus 28 degrees. It was minus 29 degrees, and I'm going to stay inside unless the pager goes off and I got to do a fire call. So I'm just crossing my fingers. There's not going to be no chimney fires today. Usually when it gets cold like this, we usually have 1 or 2 of them. So I'm going to bunker down and try to stay warm. So it's kind of nice listening to everybody talk about the 50s and how nice it is. Makes me feel warm inside. Hoping that in the next 3 to 4 months, we'll start getting that kind of temperature again here in central Wisconsin. All right, everybody have a safe day.
You too. But not here. I shut down. My computer said it was 21 degrees. It's already down to 7. Next up, Michelle, KC1, YNB.
Kilo Charlie 1, Yankee November Bravo, KC1, YNB. Good morning, Vicki, Dick, and the crew. My weekend is basically going to be work, same old, same old. However, I've had the joy of being to the grocery store this morning. It's pretty much busy. It is cold already. I'm not even too sure the car started or wanted to start, but it did. It brings back memories. We have not had like a foot of snow in a while here in Springfield, but it does bring back memories of the blizzard of 1978 for me, which I had survived it as a child. We didn't have school for 2 weeks. Everybody was stranded everywhere. I've not seen anything quite like that since. Have a very good weekend. Kilo Charlie 1, Yankee November Bravo, KC1, YMB.
Thank you, Michelle, and have a good weekend. Greg, KJ5, LJJ. KJ5, LJJ. All right, and last on this list, WB2 DLW.
Hey, good morning, Vicki and everybody on the net. WB2DLW from gray and horrible-looking Long Island. We have about 20 degrees here. It looks like the sky is going to open up any time now. So, not much going on. Just kind of getting prepared for what Mother Winter has in store for us here. WB2GLW. Nice net. Thank you.
Thank you, Mike. And from the text second, we have KA8BYU. But first, we're going to take some more check-ins and then send it over to Dick. So, twice and slowly, please.
ERX. WB2ERX.
Number 4, Kilo Hotel Zulu, N4 kilohertz. I'll be in and out. I missed the Brew, but I at least want to get on this one.
KD2IWM. KD2IWM.
Kilo Delta 4 Charlie Hotel Tango. Kilo Delta 4 Charlie Hotel Tango.
November 1 Golf Delta Delta. November 1 Golf Delta Delta.
Thank you, Vicki. Good morning to Francis. Looks like you're new to the system from New Hampshire. We'll get with you in just a moment. N1GDD. KI5WPX. We got Ellen, Princeton, North Carolina, KD4CHT. Tim, we got you, KD2IWN, probably at work. Good morning to John from Rochester. K4 kilohertz was in and out this morning, and Didn't want to miss the second cup because he missed the brew. You have a nice weekend, John. Good to hear you. I don't know if you're going to do that. Our friend Joe, KK4MOW from Orange City, Florida. Rich from Ridge, New York. And Roy from Blaisdell, New York, going to start up KA8BYU. Good morning, Roy. Good morning to everyone. This is Dick, WB2JPQ. What's on your mind this morning, Roy?
And everybody on the second cup, KA8BYU. It was interesting listening to all the different cartoons and all that this morning on the Brew that people remembered from back in the day. Sure were a lot of them. And that was interesting. I was just sitting here. I decided to check my sugar and everything and said, oh, I got to eat something. So I made myself some waffles with peanut butter on them. So that's breakfast this morning along with something to drink. And hopefully we can keep the snow away for a little while because I got to go to the store and get a couple things. I'd rather do it when it's not having that nasty stuff come down. Back to you, Dick.
Right, Roy. I think you already posted the graph, the bar graph on Facebook. Kind of interesting to look at. See how many people liked what. They're all listed there, so go to our East Coast Reflector Facebook page and see the results from this morning's morning brew question. Good morning to Rich in Ridge, New York, WB2ERX. What's on your mind this morning, Rich?
Dick and Vicky and the rest of the crew. Well, I enjoyed your trip back to nostalgia the last couple of days. And I have a question for you. Did you ever build a radio that utilized a toilet paper roll cardboard and a cat whisker? Back to you, Dick, WB2ERX.
Well, that's a great question, Rich. We've we've talked about that in our Zoom room at 3:30 Coffee many times. Yes, I did. I can't remember whether it was a paper towel roll. I don't even know if we had paper towels back then, or if it was a toilet paper form. But yes, I did. That was a project that I did with my father when I was very young, and just somewhere in, I'm guessing maybe, I don't know. Trying to think when it was, but I wasn't very old. I was first licensed at 13. It was long before that. But that was a project that my father and I did. We built several of them. We were building them for a couple of the neighbors as well, the cat whiskers and so forth. And that was a project, like I said, I did with my dad that I never, for some reason, it was probably the first big project that I ever did with my dad, and I remember it to this day, Rich. So the answer to your question is yes, I have. And I guess maybe that should be a technique if you ever build a crystal set. I think that's something everybody should do. It's a fun project, you know. You can do it in a few hours, and you can do it real simple, or you can really get elaborate. We had a ball-bearing roller coil that went over that. I can't really describe it to you, Rich, but it was quite a piece of engineering back in the day. Thanks for that question. How about Joe in Orange City? Good morning, my friend. KK4MOW. Might have stepped away. We saw his note come up. It might not have been him. Good morning, Tim. KD2WIN.
Morning, Dick. Vicky back there. KD2IWN. That was a great question this morning. I gotta reflect on that again because I was a cartoon addict. I got up at 6:30 in the morning, sometime watching the farm reports on a Saturday, and I ate, like I said, the sugar. I would eat. Everybody's gonna laugh and wonder. I still have teeth. Believe it, no dentures at 8:60. I would get the bowl of with a cookie jar, which is usually full of Oreos, and a 16-ounce bottle of RC Cola. For those of you remember the bottles of RC Cola, 16-ounce bottles. My dad would always bring home. We were spoiled as kids in the 70s. We always had Pop. But yeah, I would watch cartoons from the moment, right after the farm report. And Top Cat was one of them. Was one of the very first that would come on. And there were just so many. I could watch cartoons all morning, and then it would end with, just before noon. I think it was Fat Albert, and out I went. Sometimes I go out earlier, but a lot of the times I just like to watch them on a Saturday morning. But that was a good time. And today I'm actually testing some parts here, doing some conformance testing, taking some DCR, which is direct current resistance readings on some parts. And I'm about to, and I'll take them off and do some inductance readings on them and get them out of here. But yeah, very cold. We had a lot of snow just over the hill from you there, Dick. We got a couple of feet. I think it was Tuesday. I stayed home. Used one of my PTO days. Wasn't about to drive in that craziness. And more coming. I don't know. Got some work to do at church tomorrow, and then probably come home and do a little roof breaking to make way for more snow. And that'll be my day tomorrow, and then Sunday just hunkering down, seeing what happens. Glad it's good to hear you out there. I haven't been on Fridays for a while, but here I am. So everybody enjoy today, and we'll talk to you soon. This is JPQ KD2IWM 73.
I was down your way yesterday. CVS, as you know, in Hamburg closed, probably a year ago now, so I go down to CVS in Boston, my pharmacy of choice, if you will, the closest one to me. And come up by you, by your street there yesterday, and I was thinking about you. And the gentleman there from Homestead that, I can't think of his call sign, that said black and white cartoons. I remember them, but I cannot think for the life of me what they are. I had a grandfather that died in 1951. That's all I can really remember. But I remember the first TV set, I would say maybe 1950, that he had, and going over to his house and sitting there and staring at a test pattern until something came on at, 8 o'clock in the morning or whatever. But there's probably not many people, our younger generation today, that even has seen a test pattern. So, thanks, Tim. You have a good day. How about Alan in Princeton, North Carolina, KD4CHT? Good morning, and this is Dick, WB to JPQ.
Well, good morning, Dick and Vicki, and everybody on the second cup. Yeah, I think today's question was probably the best one of all week. There were so many ones I heard. I said, I should have said that, but I went with Bugs Bunny because that was probably my favorite. And according to the bar graph, it looks like that was the top spot anyway. But yeah, it's going to be a pretty good day, I guess. Other than we got Snowmageddon coming, I reckon is what they're going to call it. That's kind of what the local TV stations here in North Carolina are getting us all geared up for. I hope it ain't much of nothing, but around here a little bit of something is a whole lot of something. Back to net, WB2 JPQ KD4CT.
Yeah, thanks, Alan. They always say make sure you got bread and milk. Do we really eat and drink bread and milk when we have a snowstorm? I know I don't, but it's always make sure you got bread and milk. I don't know where that came from. Might be a morning brew question someday. Let's go out to Texas, KI5WPX. Via the text line.
Hey everyone, this is Elijah at below KI5WPX. Well, this morning it's really foggy, like 88% humidity. Not too much going on, waiting for the Arctic blast to come. getting prepared, charging up some power banks and making sure I got my radios working. Hopefully the radio service will continue to function. And also I got Meshtastic as well. If you know what Meshtastic is, it's a DIY decentralized mesh network. Ham radio operators are definitely using it, definitely here in San Antonio. And you can create your own network that allows you to send text messages, so I have that on, and I'm doing some redundancy testing on that. So hopefully any Meshtastic users that are using the mesh will be prepared. But yeah, that's about it for me. Back to net.
Well, thanks for sharing it with us, Elijah. And I do know what it is. I've never got into it. I'm probably too far out in the country to make it worthwhile. But I would suppose in a city, wow, I've always thought in a city that would really, really, really work good. Thanks for being with us. Next up is Francis. N1 GDD. Looks like you're new to the system and new to the net. Welcome, Francis. And it does look like the system is telling me that you have a current email address on your QRZ.com page, so you will receive a welcome letter from us. Do you go by Francis? Is there a nickname? This is the time to change it in our database. Good morning.
Good morning, Dick and the group. And yeah, just call me Frank. And I'm here in Nashua, New Hampshire. We're waiting for reports on the snowstorm. I happen to be on Netfinder, and I don't think I had noticed that this net was on Netfinder. So when I saw it, and it was East Coast, and with the weather coming, I thought I'd check in, and I'll look forward to the email. Yeah, that's about it for me for right now. But, the question of the day. Well, Bugs Bunny and definitely Rocky and Bullwinkle. And a quick story, there was a fella in my apartment complex had a license plate that said SQREL plus, and he had a wildlife license plate which has a picture of a moose on it, and I'm ashamed to say it took me a while to get it. So back to you, N1 GDD.
We were talking here in the Zoom room not about you, but getting you all situated here. And and we missed what you said for your nickname.
Well, I didn't realize there was a Zoom room also.
We have a Zoom room that runs 24/7. People come and go all day long, and while the net's going on, we're in there communicating with each other, and you're welcome to come in. We just ask everybody not to talk during the net as soon as the nets are over. So, yep, it's a large system. East Coast Reflector, I think you're all aware of that. Probably we still got 400 connections here this morning. Not a few drop off automatically after the morning brew. But as you know, morning brew was 5 days a week from 7 to 9, and on Fridays we always do the second cup. So got a lot of things going here. A large system. Again, what was the name you wanted to change your name to, Francis? I'm sorry, we missed that.
Okay. Call me Frank, Frank, Foxtrot, Romeo, Alpha, November, Kilo.
All right, after midnight, when we recycle everything, you will be known as Frank. Thanks for being there. Let me take a list of check-ins. I'll let Vicki talk or get in here for a few more minutes. She's been sitting there for 3 hours, so anybody anywhere like to get in here in the second cup and just talk to us this morning, talk about what's on your mind, or ask us a question. This is Dick, WB2JPQ, call signs twice.
Whiskey 2, Echo Mike, W2EM.
Victor Alpha 3, Yankee
Kilo
Bravo
4,
Sierra.
Papa Golf Mike, Kilo 4, Papa
YBS.
Golf Mike, in and out.
AC4BR, Alpha Charlie 4, Bravo Romeo.
Kilo Quebec 4, Mike Sierra Kilo, in and out. Checking in and out. Kilo Echo 2, Golf Hotel Zulu, K2GHZ, in and out.
Alright, look at these in and outs first. We got KE2 GHC and 2 VLK, KQ4 MSK, and K4. And stick and run, we have AC4BR, VA3 YBS, and at the top of this list, W2EM. This is Vicky, K8 VKY in the second cup. First off to check. What's on your mind?
Good morning, Vicky, Dick, and the rest of the second cup here. Yeah, today was a pretty good question and answer. Yeah, I remember sitting there and watching the test pattern, waiting for the TV to start the day. You know, they used to start around, I don't know, 7:30 and end at 11 at night. Back in the day, you only had 3 stations and that was it. But yeah, later on, when Rocky and Bullwinkle came out, I loved that program. And I actually went out and I got a couple of flying squirrels. I had a couple of pet flying squirrels for about 2 years until my mother put them out in the rain and killed them. So that didn't make me happy. But had a really fun time with those little guys. But I'm getting ready. I'm packing up stuff today for field day tomorrow. A couple miles south of us here in Venus, Florida, this one guy's got a ranch or a farm or whatever, and we set up a field day there. We did it last year, and it was really nice. Tomorrow it's supposed to get up to 82, 83 out there, so we got hop-ups and stuff, so we'll survive. But they got a big food tent down there, so they're going to have some good eatings too, so looking forward to it. So that's about it for me today, so I'll turn it back to Net Control. Everybody have a great weekend. W2EM.
Thank you, Chuck, and hope you do have a good weekend. And the cartoon results are up. Next up, Bill, VA3 YBS.
Good morning, Vicki and Dick and everybody else that's on the net here. I just wanted to comment on what a good morning brew that was this morning. That question and all the answers brought back a lot of memories, a lot of those cartoon shows I haven't thought about in a lot of years. So that was a fun good job, guys. We're up to today. This weekend, we're down here in Cape Canaveral. And this weekend there's a launch of a SpaceX rocket, so we'll be going down to the beach to watch that. And coming up, I believe it's the first week of February sometime, the Artemis program will be launching 4 astronauts, and they're going to make a trip around the moon. And I'm pretty excited about that. When I was growing up, I followed the space program closely all through the Mercury, Gemini, and Apollo programs, and to see mankind returning to the moon is pretty neat, and it's going to be a great experience to be here and watch that launch the first week of February. I don't know the exact date, but it's early in February. Anyway, that's my thoughts for today, and I'll give it back to you. Thanks for doing the net. VA3 YBS.
Thank Thank you. And just to give a quick flashback from the brew this morning, Bugs Bunny actually took the lead. Towards the top was also Roadrunner, Scooby-Doo, and Little Tom and Jerry. Next up, if I can find my screen again, AC4 BR Brian.
Good morning, Dick, Vicky, and everybody else on the net. Always good to catch people on the second cup. A little early for me for the morning brew, but anyway, mobile at the moment. Hopefully coming through fine, though I'm not too awful far from the repeater. Did you have a question? I heard you talking about cartoons there.
No question on the second cup. We were just talking about the morning brew. The question was, what was your favorite cartoon? And it seemed to get a lot of talk going, so it was just kind of going over the answers.
I got you. Looks like I've still got a little bit of a hanging issue on the PGT there, possibly, on that RC210. Anyway, I'll have to look at that. But, well, going to work. Nothing really going on here. Everybody getting ready for the snowmageddon or snowpocalypse, or however you want to call it. I reckon the store shelves are bare. It's always kind of funny to me. They go out and buy a crap ton of milk and bread and so forth, and we'll get what we get, I reckon. I've got enough the last few days, possibly several days if need be, so I think we're supposed to get maybe a little bit on the lower end now. They're thinking it's going to go a bit north, so we could see up to a foot of snow. We're about due for one because it's been about 10 years, but not terribly likely, I guess, but I guess we'll know when we get there. Looks like eastern New York may be getting somewhere between a foot and a half and 2.5 feet of snow. Not sure about Michigan or anywhere else, but hope everybody stays safe and warm and is ready for it and don't overdo it shoveling snow. I'll turn it back to you, Vicky. AC4BR, y'all have a good day.
Yeah, Dick was saying he thinks it's the squelches too loose on the repeater. And as for the snow and the apocalypse, yeah, what they call 2 inches of snow is an apocalypse. Here we call it Friday. And I'm pretty sure that whatever Dick gets in snow is what they'll be focusing around all over the country. And the rest of us will get 2 inches. But that's the end of that list. This is Vicky, K8VKY with Dick, WB2JPQ. Taking more check-ins, twice and slow, please.
A2 CMT, Kilo 2, Charlie Mike Tango, mobile.
Kilo, Echo 2, Charlie, Kilo, Echo 2, Charlie, Kilo.
Nothing like a good echo in the middle of a pileup. We had KE2, CCK, and 3Y, and at the top of this list, K2, CMT. Mike, how's it going?
Morning. Hello, Dick, and everyone else on the net. On my way to play some golf. First time in about 3 weeks, I guess. I finally warmed up enough down here, and the sun came out. Looks like it's going to be a good day. I want to remind everyone that any of you out there who have plans to come to Orlando, we haven't got it nailed down quite yet, but we will be a contingency of the East Coast Reflector family there trying to put together a meet and greet. So if you'll tune in to the 800 machine, we call it, Orlando repeater, stay on frequency, and we'll let you know where it is and when it is. And if we have it nailed down before we actually get there, we'll put it on the air here. This is K2CMT. Thank you, Vicki.
Thank you, Mike. And don't forget to stop by and see Mike and some other people and just hang out. Glenn, N3, LLY.
Hello, Vicki and the group. I just want to comment on how well the Zoom meeting went last night concerning the M1KE, and Bob sent the article that he penned up briefly over to us. Turned out good. Look forward to the next one. Anyway, everybody be safe out there. Looks like they revised our snowfall totals down just a little bit and add a little more ice, so everybody have a good one. N3LY, back to you, Vicki.
Come back with that.
Well, the question on the morning brew was, what's your favorite cartoon? This is the second cup. There isn't a question you can talk about. Whatever you'd like to talk about. But people are still talking about cartoons, so whatever you'd like.
Oh, okay, yeah, very good. When I was really young, I liked Hey Arnold and Rocket Power the most. And I remember watching it on one of those little micro TVs. The screen was about 3.5, 4 inches, and it was a little box. It was a little portable TV that took D-type batteries, or you could plug it into the wall, and it had a little antenna on the back where it would stream TV over the air. And on Saturdays, they cartoons, Looney Tunes. That was the best memories I had. CCK, back to now.
You're starting to get a little far from the repeater, but we got everything you said, so I have safe travels. This is Vicki, K8VKY. One last time. We got about 2 minutes left. Check-ins twice and slowly, please.
November 4, Romeo Hotel Echo. November 4, Romeo Hotel Echo.
Kilo Quebec 4, Hotel Echo Foxtrot, KQ4, HEF, in and out.
KR4, COH, Kilo Romeo 4, Charlie Oscar Hotel, in and out.
This is Kilo November 1, Hotel Whiskey Kilo, that's KN1 HWK. Daniel in Houston, in and out.
N6QDY, N6QDY, in and out.
November 7, Foxtrot Golf Papa. November 7, Foxtrot Golf Papa.
Alright, we'll hold up right there. We got N7 FGP and N4 REG. In and out, we also had N6 QDY, KN1 HWK, KR4 COH, KQ4 HEF. First up is Roger. Are you getting ready for the storm?
KE8BKY. Good morning, clever cousin. Thanks for serving a second cup. November 4, Rematel Echo. Remember, I'm the guy that went 395 days without leaving my yard during the pandemic. I always have a 6 months of food in my pantry. Yes, I'm ready for the storm. On my mind, my mother would limit our cartoon viewing. She thought the anthropomorphic characters too violent. If I had to choose, I'd say Yabba Dabba Doo, Fred Flintstone. November 4, Roger Ham enthusiast. Return to net.
Yeah, I was joking about the storm. It's all good, though. Have a good weekend. Last on this list, 7 FGP.
Good morning, Dickie and Vic. Dick and Vicky, it's early in the morning for me. I don't normally get up this early. But am I ready for the storm? Yeah, I think so. We'll see. I've got all supplies and, maybe I need to get a little more fuel today. That's about it. Anyhow, thanks for being out there today. Back to you.
All right, thank you, Scott. I want to take it for a minute. I want to see if Bill from Dundle is still with us, CA3 YBS. Bill, are you still there? I just got a little trivia for you. Bill is gone. He was talking about the space program and how into it he is. I was telling the guys in the Zoom room yesterday that back in 1957, and I don't know why I remember that, but 1957, I recorded Sputnik, and I still have those tapes. I just don't have anything to play them on. But, I don't know how, it was all long before internet. I don't know how I found out about the passes and so forth, but I got quite a number of recordings when Sputnik went over this area in western New York back in 1957. And I cheated this morning. I looked it up. It was 20 and 40 megs, 20.2 megs and 20 megs that they were on. I couldn't remember that, but I do remember the 1957, and I was correct on that. Anyway, we had a great time this morning. Thanks to Jeff KE0GKF for his portion, Vicky KE-VKY for being here for 3 hours with us as we have been. Great question this morning. Like I said, I would really like to have Friday as trivia, or memory lane Friday, not trivia, but memory lane Friday. We just need to come up with the good questions like I think we did today. A lot of comments. The check-in numbers were down a little bit, but I think it's not about the numbers. I think we had more fun answering our favorite cartoon characters. So have a good weekend, everybody. Don't forget about the Youth Net tonight at 8 o'clock, Trivia Net Saturday night at 11 with Alex and Vicky. So that's everybody. WB to JPQ.